Sherlock Holmes The Awakened is a full remake of the 2007 PC-only release by Frogwares. Built from the ground up with all new graphics, writing, voice acting, and gameplay, this has been a labor of love from the Ukrainian team during a time of incredible hardship. You are a young Sherlock Holmes working on a terrifying mystery alongside your friend and colleague, John Watson. From London to Europe and across the ocean, you will chase down a case both complex and rife with a seeming ancient evil. It's Sherlock meets Lovecraft, and it's a lovingly crafted mix of fun and frustration. So let's break it down in the XboxEra review of Sherlock Holmes The Awakened. The game starts off with Holmes bored in his apartment. He has no case to work on and his mind is full of frustration. This is a much younger version of the character than you typically see in Frogware's more recent Sherlock Holmes titles. Dr. Watson does have a client whose servant has gone missing. You start looking into it, and things quickly escalate. As always, I'll do my best to spoil as little as possible. There is a lot of H.P. Lovecraft in this game, and I think it works pretty well. Holmes is a grounded character who refuses to believe in the supernatural. Having him potentially face a cosmic horror like this is rife with storytelling opportunities. The Awakened is a detective game through and through. There is little to no action. Instead, you will use your journal to piece together what you should do in each new area. There is a how-to-play section that lets you know what each icon in your casebook means. Make sure to check these often as they clue you in on how to proceed in each area. Those areas, no matter how big they look, are actually all pretty darn small. This is a modern version of an old game, and the map sizes are surprisingly slim compared to the more modern Sherlock titles. The main gameplay mechanics revolve around pinning clues so that you can interact with or focus on specific spots. Pressing the left bumper will send a circular pulse out from your character highlighting any interactable items with a small yellow or white circle. You might think, well, I was told I need a key and here's one hanging up, why can't I interact with it? Well, you often need to pin the evidence about needing a key first in the menu before you can interact with certain clues. Once you have enough evidence, you'll use the Mind Palace system to match all the clues you've gotten together to come to your conclusion. That is the heart of the game. Find clues, figure out what happened, rinse and repeat. One of the other main mechanics comes in the form of using your right bumper to activate concentration. This puts a mauve green filter over the screen and allows Holmes to deduce what certain environmental clues may mean. You'll know when to use this ability as small ghostly green splotches will float in midair. Often, these environmental deductions will trigger a sequence where you'll have to determine exactly how an event occurred. Once you have interacted with every object and found every concentration point, you'll need to try and put them in the correct order. It's a lot of fun, and if you make sure to check the icons in your journal, it makes logical sense. That's not always the case in the game, though. My main complaint with the game was just how often I felt clueless about what to do next. My journal would have no more icons in it to indicate where I should go, and instead, I just had to run from room to room, hoping I missed an interactable object. This didn't happen a few times, it was closer to a dozen, and this isn't a super long title, and the areas are rarely very big, so becoming lost as often as I did was immensely frustrating. All the more so because I enjoyed the hell out of the story and the gameplay when I did know what to do. The map system is nigh on useless as it gives you zero indicator of where you are, and instead, it's there to act as a fast travel hub when needed. This game is not online, so it works real well with quick resume, but fair warning, if you quit mid-case and try and come back, it can be damn tricky to pick up where you left off. It happened to me a few times when I rejoined a segment and immediately realized that I had no idea where to go next because I had forgotten the exact layout of the area. For those areas, there are a nice variety of biomes in the game as you travel countries multiple times. Graphically, it's not spectacular looking, but compared to the original 2007 release, it is a huge improvement. Characters do tend to have rather dead eyes and the animations can be pretty stiff. Still, an occasionally scary bit of horror keeps things lively. The voice work is pretty damn good as well, with an excellent job from Holmes and Watson in particular. There are a few child characters, seemingly voiced by children as well. I've grown so used to middle-aged women doing every kid's voice in a game that it was jarring at first, but welcome.
Warehouse. This man, Roy Selby, gave him the job. He paid him a necklace.
The music and sound effects help transport you to the period well, even if they aren't particularly memorable. I ran into one constant bug while playing, and that had to do with falling from any small elevation. Multiple times, Holmes got trapped in the loop of perpetually falling, mostly in hallucinations where there were bottomless pits. A few times, I had to wait for a minute as I held the stick forward, hoping he would move just enough on each animation loop to get off the tiny bit of rock he was stuck on and fall off the edge of a cliff, which thankfully only resets your location. Wrapping things up, Sherlock Holmes The Awakened does what a good remake should and remakes the entire thing. New graphics, gameplay, story elements, dialogue, and more all work together to bring an experience any fan of detective-focused gameplay will enjoy. It has some issues with signposting and movement bugs, but if you love Sherlock Holmes, then this is a trip worth taking.